Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
And myself enjoy professional wrestling. So does Micah Frankel, by the way. We enjoy it, not just on national television or international television, but also locally, Destiny Wrestling. We've had plenty of guys on the show plenty of times, but we wanted to introduce Adam Merrick.
Thank you so much, Leroy. I appreciate you inviting us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us down. I know every time we have a show coming up, you're always here to pub it, and we really do appreciate it.
Well, you know, I do love wrestling, and I caught the Destiny Wrestling bug. Gosh, how many years ago was it now? I think it's been like 3 years.
Wow, yeah.
Is the first time that I saw a show, and Carlisle and I went out and just had a blast. It was, and every event that you've put on since then, both Carlisle's had y'all, or one of you all, on his radio show, and then we try to get you guys in here as much as possible.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Hobo Hank a few times. Back when Brute 66 was rolling around, we had them. We've had a couple of special guests roll around. So we enjoy, I mean, I totally enjoy it. I think Destiny Wrestling, DWO, puts on a great show every time that I've been on. I've never been disappointed.
That's great to hear.
And of the fans that have shown up and followed you, they're rabid.
They are rabid.
Are they not?
They're wild. They're definitely devoted to Destiny Wrestling. It's awesome to have the fan base that we have. Very appreciative of them. And it's awesome to have them come out. It's always the same people come in front row, getting those tickets early. And they're always front row. They're always screaming, wanting to know when that Destiny Wrestling show is, and they're always front and center there. So
Destiny Wrestling, it's been kind of weird lately. Can you kind of recap what's going on with Destiny Wrestling, Matthew Robles, and everything else that's going on?
A lot of questions have been coming up as far as what's going on with Destiny Wrestling. And Day of Destiny 11 was our last show here in Albuquerque in October. At that show, if anybody's been to Destiny Wrestling show, they know who Matthew Robles is. This guy has been running his weight around. He's been the director of competition for quite some time. And finally, I just couldn't handle it anymore. He constantly interfered in matches. He's putting his boys in specialty contests to get them over in positions that he especially wanted them to be in. I finally had enough. I gave him exactly what he wanted. I put up an ownership portion that I currently own in a company that I previously owned in a company. And I told him, listen, if you can beat my team with your team, then I'll give you my percentage of Destiny Wrestling. You become majority owner of the company. It's yours. You can do whatever you want to do, man. So, Field was set. Biggest main event in Destiny Wrestling history. His team versus my team. We each had 4 guys apiece. It was elimination style. And things didn't go the way for Team Destiny. Team Heel won. Matthew Robles' heel heavyweight champion, Chad Thomas, defeated Hobo Hank in the final fall. And he's now majority owner of Destiny Wrestling. So his plan is to take the company to Utah, which obviously I don't agree with. Destiny Wrestling was born and raised here in the 505 in New Mexico. But he's majority owner, and we really can't do anything about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break as we got a recap. We're going to come back with Michael Carlisle and Adam Merrick, and we're going to talk more about Destiny Wrestling and get to know a little bit more of Adam, because even though you're kind of quiet sometimes, you don't know a lot about you. So we want to find out where you're at, what got you into wrestling, and everything else. So we'll take a quick break.
Good.
We'll come back after this.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Welcome, Michael Carlisle.
What's up?
We are figuring out if we could get the chair shot in now. I mean, we've always
Negative.
talked about it.
No,
Still
you've
not?
always talked about it. I've got no desire to be a
Well, there it is. There's the poster for this weekend's, or I'm sorry, this next Monday's
Next Monday,
show.
this
It's
coming Monday,
Memorial Day.
Right.
7 o'clock. Tell us a little bit where the venue is. That way people that are watching can get out and see it.
Yeah, it's DWO Reincarnation. It's taking place on Monday, May 27th. Yes, it is Memorial Day. It is going to be in Bosque Farms. For more information, you can go to our Facebook, facebook.com/DWO Wrestling. You can find out exactly where the venue is and everything. It's a different venue we've had. It's in Bosque Farms. Never been there before. And it kind of ties in with what Matthew Robles is trying to do as far as not having Destiny Wrestling come back to New Mexico. He wants to give us kind of an odd day, Monday, on a holiday, at a different venue, in hopes that we don't have a big crowd that we usually have at Destiny Wrestling. But it's backfiring. Tickets are being sold. The crowd is hot. They want to come. They're going to be coming. It's going to be a packed house on the 27th.
Be honest. Is there a bigger jerk out there than Matthew Robles?
Matthew Robles is a pretty big jerk, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean, he is.
He is. And, you know, sometimes he shows those signs of like, you know, he's not that bad of a guy. But then he does something stupid. He does something for his own benefit, for the benefit of his friends and everything. And it's like, dude, why do you got to be like that? You know, this is wrestling. Why can't you just play it fair? But unfortunately, wrestling, that's not how it always works out sometimes.
So I want to go back a little bit, DWO and what that's all about. How long have you been with Destiny Wrestling?
Destiny Wrestling, honestly, was something I came up with way back when. It was a name that actually a lot of people probably don't know that I came up with. Destiny Wrestling was something that was always an idea of mine. I always loved wrestling. I grew up, of course, in the Attitude Era and really got hooked into wrestling at that time. And I always thought, dude, it'd be awesome to have your own wrestling company. Sat on it for years and years and years. Finally, I came across really cool guys and got together and decided, like, hey, New Mexico hasn't had wrestling since the days of Mike London back in the 70s. So why not try to bring wrestling back? And through our benefits, we all got together and we decided to make this a reality. And luckily for us, it has been. So pretty much since day one, Destiny Wrestling's first official show was 2006, 2007, I want to say. And pretty much since then, you know, been a part of it.
You know, it's interesting, just since I've been following you guys, watching you guys grow. I think when I started, you guys were at 5 Points. Then you went to the Armory. Then you went to the community center in the South Valley. And just the growth, and the more you guys grow, the bigger venues you get, the more people seem to come out. It's really been fun watching you guys grow.
Absolutely. It's been an amazing ride. If you would have told me 10 years ago that this company would have done the things that we've done, I wouldn't have believed you, because we've had so many great opportunities. We've had so many great talents come roll through Destiny Wrestling. I don't think a lot of people realize just how important Destiny Wrestling is, not only to Albuquerque, but to the Southwest wrestling region in general. A lot of people love Destiny Wrestling. They want to come out to Destiny Wrestling, both fans and talent. We have countless guys wanting to come by and come wrestle in the Destiny Wrestling ring.
For sure. And, you know, I think you guys do a really good job of mixing, you know, bringing in established superstars, legends at times, and, you know, the younger talent as well. You guys have had a lot of people, you know, Gino Rivera's worked some 205 Live stuff.
Right.
You guys have brought in Bully Ray. Bully Ray goes to the Hall of Fame. Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Jarrett goes in the Hall of Fame. I mean, coincidence?
Yeah,
maybe. But probably not. You know, Bischoff came in. You know, it's you know, I think there's something. You know, you guys don't serve one master. There's something for everybody. If you're more into the legends, the superstars, if you're more into the young up-and-coming guys, you know, there's a little bit of something for everybody at DWO.
Absolutely, you're going to get it, because, and a lot of these guys are from Albuquerque, you know? You have guys doing major things who are right here in the 505. Look at Mosh Pit Mike. He's currently one half of the JCW Tag Team Champions. That's awesome. That's huge for him. I know he's always been a huge juggalo since I've known him. And for him to have that honor of being one half of the tag champs, I know he's elated for it. You have guys, Ray Basuda actually just won a major title out in Arizona a couple weekends ago. He's doing great things. The character, the Trash King with Rusty and Toxic and Vomit, his squires, he's doing great things. And, you know, just and Gino Rivera, you touched on Gino Rivera. He's doing awesome. And these are all guys who are located here, live in New Mexico. So you got to come and support, because there's major wrestling things going on in the 505.
Yeah, and then, you know, you guys bring people in from all over the Southwest, all over the region. You know, your Manny Lemons, Chad Thomas, the champ. And then from time to time, you guys bring in the big superstars too. So, you know, again, something for everybody.
Oh yeah, even a taste of the future, because we had Crazy Mary Dobson, who now of course is in WWE, and also Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's now signed to an NXT contract. So you really get it all from Destiny Wrestling. You mentioned it. And it's great. It's something for everybody. If you think, you know, I'm just a WWE fan, I don't think I'm going to like that. Hey, we have the pulse on the wrestling world. We're going to give you something you like. You may not know what it is now, but maybe in, you know, a year or so, you're going to be like, oh, I saw that guy in Destiny Wrestling when Gino Rivera was winning the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Hey, I saw him first in DWO, you know?
So we touched on this a little bit, Adam, and the fans. And like Michael said, I think we both started going to DWO events at that same time there at 5 Points. And just seeing the fan base grow. I mean, it's rabid. It's not like just like people that are just have passing interest. Like, they're dying for this show.
Oh yeah.
And I know that after what happened last, you know, with the Day of Destiny and everything else, they've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I know Robles via Twitter and Facebook kind of likes to jab a little bit. But they're dying for this to happen, are they not?
They're chomping at the bit. We've been asked multiple times when Destiny Wrestling is going to come back. What's up with the shows? When are we going to see it again? And unfortunately, we haven't had a definite answer until now. So now, I know it's short notice, but we have that answer, and we have to really have that crowd come out and support us at this show, because this is the be-all, end-all for Destiny Wrestling. If Hobo Hank does not defeat Thunder, that's it. nails in the coffin there for Destiny Wrestling. But if Hobo Hank can defeat Thunder, then Destiny Wrestling comes back per the majority owner, Matthew Robles. Who knows if he's going to hold up to that? I don't know. But that's the plan right now. That's what we're going with.
Hobo Hank and Thunder, former tag team champions.
Yeah.
Former tag team champions.
Friends.
Best friends, yeah.
Exactly.
So tough match for both.
They both know each other unlike anybody else. They're both really great wrestlers. They're legends here in Albuquerque. They've been wrestling for so long. They've done a lot. They've traveled up and down the Southwest and beyond. So it's going to be a tough. Hobo Hank told me it's going to be his toughest matchup, if you can believe it. And he's been in the ring with some of the toughest guys.
Yes,
Almighty
he
Sheik.
has.
He's been in the ring against Moonshine Mantell. He's been in the ring against Chad Thomas. And Thunder, he's saying is his toughest. That's saying something.
For sure.
And you said there's a couple of other matches that you have scheduled already, and some
Absolutely.
possible surprises?
Possible surprises. Well, we know we have a heavyweight championship match. We have Chad Thomas, who I believe, I don't really care for him, but pound for pound, he's the best athlete in the Southwest. I'll put him up against anybody. I'll give him that. He's going to be defending the title against Lee Nitrous from Utah. We've also got Gino Rivera. He's going to be defending the Full Access Championship. He issued an open challenge. He's got a big mouth. I know there's a long line of people who probably want to challenge and win that Full Access title off of Gino. As I mentioned, Mosh Pit Mike's going to be in action. He apparently has issued also an open challenge. Apparently a former DWO champion is going to be answering that challenge. I'm not exactly sure who. That's just a word that I've heard. Ray Basuda is going to be in action. We're also going to have some of the other kind of up-and-coming DWO wrestlers coming in. Your Cyrus War Songs, the Monster 9, and a few others in action.
Awesome. It sounds like a great show. It sounds exciting. I do want to go a little bit. What got you into wrestling? You mentioned the well, it was WWF at that
right.
point.
Right.
The
Attitude Era.
Attitude Era. Is that what got you hooked on this? What got you hooked into wrestling?
That kind of really started it. I remember my dad used to watch Monday Nitro, and that was probably my first kind of introduction to wrestling. And I remember watching Sting come down from the rafters, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And so I was pumped, kind of fell off with it, and the neighborhood I lived in back in about elementary school, the kids were really into wrestling, and that was when WWF was really popular. My first WWF show was WrestleMania 14, Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold, and I was blown away by everything. I was hooked ever since. From that moment on, I've been a wrestling fan ever since.
What's been, now you guys have accomplished a lot with DWO. What's been the biggest moment for you? Whether it's a star you brought in, an event, a match, what's really stood out for you?
So many. Like I honestly, it's been awesome to see the talent that we started with. You know, your guys like, you know, the Death Rage Cartel, Josh Payne, Dexter, Johnny K, Chad Thomas, even Joe Quesada, guys who aren't with us anymore. Seeing them grow as performers and become the level that they're at right now has been awesome personally. But dude, I can't go without saying Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff coming in was a mark-out moment for me, myself, having him. This was a former WCW president coming into Albuquerque, coming into wrestling promotion that I helped start and performing. Not once, but twice. So it was crazy. So that was hands down probably my favorite, coolest moment.
I remember the first appearance, and that was something completely unadvertised. It's not something you guys put out there to try to get more people.
Exactly.
It's just a card. We're all there, we're watching, and all of a sudden, here comes Eric Bischoff, and everybody's just like, oh my God. And that turned into a really fun deal, especially with the second appearance with he and Robles going at it and all that. That was a lot of fun.
It was really cool, and I never would have thought that would happen alongside, you know, other guys who've come in, other great names, Bully Ray, Jeff Jarrett, Sin Bodie's been awesome, just going for now. So it's been really cool seeing a lot of these guys come in.
Sure. And is there any, I mean, what do you see as the future of DWO? I mean, obviously you have to get the win this weekend.
Hobo Hank will win.
He will win. Come on, Hobo Hank's the man, right, in Albuquerque?
Yeah,
Is there anyone greater right now in Albuquerque, more pop than Hobo Hank?
No, I mean, he was voted, the top celebrity?
Yeah.
Or was he top athlete? Yeah, or third place. Like, that's saying something. He was just behind Holly Holm. Like, that's huge. So, you know, the sky's the limit for Destiny Wrestling. I say as long as we have the crowd support, again, you guys have been great as far as helping us get our word out. And I really think the sky's the limit. I really don't think that there's anything we can't do. I mean, we had a former WCW president in there, and I really think we can do whatever we can, we will do whatever we need to do. And the crowd support is huge, and we definitely need everybody to come out and support Destiny Wrestling as they have been.
So I know you have to leave because you have other obligations that you have to fulfill. But once again, it's Monday night, 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Where? Bosque Farms?
Yeah, Bosque Farms, and all the information you can get on our website, or actually our Facebook's probably a better place to go, facebook.com/DWO Wrestling. It's going to be a great night.
And they can order tickets now?
Yes, holdmyticket.com. You can get your tickets today. And definitely show up, make some noise, make some crowd signs, and be there to support the return, the reincarnation of Destiny Wrestling.
Awesome. Adam, thanks for being part of today's
Thanks,
show.
Roy. Michael, thank you so much.
We'll see you Monday night.
Sounds
We'll
good.
take a quick break. We'll come back with more Red Menace TV.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dream Style Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up!
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Totally fumbling around with my mic this week. Caught me off guard. We're starting. Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. Bare knuckle boxing is crazy. I was just actually talking about that. If you guys want to promote each other in that manner, you can go right ahead and do it. Florida, the next event, Labov, Malinaji, and they're literally spitting at each other. So that's quite interesting in the combat sports world. Everybody's favorite, Conor McGregor, we'll mention him real quick. He's called out Floyd Mayweather again, and I mean, he's always good for a laugh right now. I mean, a social media darling, a comedian, just like Brendan Schaub, transitioning great to that second career. Conor McGregor hitting us with the jokes continually. News on For Real fights, Junior Dos Santos Francis Ngannou has been moved from UFC 239 to a week earlier, the end of June, headlining UFC Fight Night in Minnesota. That's going to definitely be a banger. Two guys that have precision boxing, knockout power, so a little move-in date for them. Couple other things to talk about, and we'll get to those with the highlights if we can roll those. We got a lot of stuff to cover from last week's action. Start off with Sage Northcutt getting destroyed by a right hand from Cosmo Alessandre. 29-second knockout, 8 fractures to the face, 30 bone chips removed, and a 9-hour surgery to recover. Sage Northcutt definitely taking some abuse in his debut. Christian Lee, the 20-year-old phenom, pulls off the upset at One Championship, Enter the Dragon in the main event, stopping Shinya Aoki, who just won the title 60 days ago with a second-round TKO, becoming the second champion in his family, and yes, the youngest champion in One Championship history. In the Glory kickboxing ring, another stunning upset happens as Haru Gregorian unseats Siddhachai Sitsampilong as the new Glory lightweight champion. Defending his Glory middleweight title, and in dazzling fashion, Alexander Fiera does it with a flying knee first-round knockout. Collecting $1 million in the Road FC lightweight champion, Mansur Banyari gets a first-round rear naked choke and cashes a large check. Scott Askham doing big things since leaving the UFC. He defends his KSW middleweight title in the KSW 49 main event, a second-round knockout. Inoue stops Rodriguez to get a title, picking up another belt in the boxing world. You had Josh Taylor picking up a unanimous decision victory, claiming an IBF title. Right there, Billy Joe Saunders with a unanimous decision in London. He now picks up the vacant WBO title. We go to the UFC action. It was Julio Arce, head kick, puts out Julian Erosa. That's our highlight from the event. We go up to the main event where you saw Junior Dos Santos with not so friendly of a welcome to the welterweight division for Kevin Lee, the former lightweight champion, victorious via 4th-round submission, rebounding from 2 consecutive losses. You had Gary Russell Jr. defeating Kiko Martinez, 5th-round TKO, retaining his title, his WBC belt. And in the main event, it lasted only 2 minutes, a vicious right hand, and still heavyweight champion of the world in devastating fashion. Deontay Wilder, that's what you call a one-hitter quitter. Brazil did not know where he was, and the rest of the boxing world is wondering, where is Wilder versus Fury, Wilder versus Joshua? Hopefully we can get what we deserve in the heavyweight boxing world. Sooner or later, we know who the dominant champions are. Let's harken back to the old days when the top guys fought each other. That's what everybody's hopes are. Hopefully the politics, the money, the contracts, everything can get worked out outside of the ring so that we can see magic happen inside of the ring. As far as what's going to go on this weekend in the ring, we got another slideshow to show you guys. Action gets started tonight on UFC Fight Pass, Alaska FC 148. Jason Flowers, Charlie Johnson, welterweight title fight there at the top of the card. Tomorrow night on UFC Fight Pass, Roy Jones Jr. has boxing. Imara Carrar and Simeon De Silva go 10 rounds. That's female lightweights, top prospects. A nice boxing card there from Tucson, Arizona on UFC Fight Pass. ESPN Plus, ESPN2. It's week 2 of the 2019 PFL regular season. We got featherweight and lightweight action. Last year's winners both in action. Friday night on UFC Fight Pass, TKO 48, 3 title fights. Heavyweights, bantamweights, women's flyweights, all on the line. That's UFC Fight Pass. Also Friday night, more MMA action on Access TV. It's LFA 67, a big main event. Daniel James, Patrick Martin, interviews with both up at CageMinds.com. An excellent lightweight co-main event, Jaleel Willis and Dakota Bush. We got grappling on Sunday on Saturday on Fight Passes. Polaris 10, Nikki Ryan versus UFC legend Uriah Faber. Also Saturday on Fight Pass, looking for some more MMA action, CFFC 75, Miranda Granger and Julissa Avito battle for the strawweight title. That is up back east. Saturday on ESPN Deportes, you have Masaki Ito versus Jamal Herring. It's a 12-rounder for Ito's WBO junior lightweight title. Saturday night on Fox and Fox Deportes. I know everybody here locally is looking forward, or on FS1 and Fox Deportes, everyone here locally is looking forward to this one. Being Terrell Gache, Austin Trout. It's going to be a big one there. Junior middleweights. More boxing action on DAZN. You have Devin Henry and Antonio Morgan, 10-round lightweights. Sunday, go back over to UFC Fight Pass. We have more MMA action from the other side of the globe. Talking about Pancrase 305 featherweight title on the line. UFC or Bellator veteran Nazareno Malagari versus Issei Kobayashi. A stat card there, and then you have Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2 bantamweights on Sunday, UFC Fight Pass. That means open-handed slaps are allowed. And then kick off next week with some Muay Thai action, back-to-back Monday and Tuesday. Absolute Muay Thai 22 and 23 lined up. You also go over to CageMinds.com. Got recent interviews up with Jackson Wink fighter Travis Foster. June 1st, he heads back east. He's a New Jersey native out here training. He'll be competing for an opportunity to fight for the Maverick super lightweight title. Maverick coming together, bringing the 165-pound division. So you can hear about his journey out west at CageMinds.com. Not to mention Joshua Montoya talks about his upcoming bout with Frank Baca, the co-main event of Southwest MMA Series 28, taking place June 8th at Buffalo Thunder. As for the local action, also don't forget that Combate America's first event here at the Rio Rancho Santa Ana Star Center will be June 28th. Andres the Bullet Quintana in the main event, fighting for the inaugural featherweight title. He is the Copa Combate featherweight tournament winner. He's going to be taking on the closest guy that came in the tournament to knocking him down. Check out the full article at CageMinds.com. We got a bunch of interviews coming up this week. So there's a lot of great stuff going on in the combat sports world. No UFC or Bellator this weekend, but a lot of other great stuff that we went over. So a lot of stuff to keep you entertained on the boxing front and some regional MMA fights. Maybe you'll check out a new prospect you never heard that could be the next big thing in the UFC. That's all I got for you guys this week. A lot more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Welcome back to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network. Thank you, Micah. Conor McGregor? Mayweather again?
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
But were they to fight again, and it's not going to happen, but were they to fight again, everybody involved will make a lot of money.
Nobody wants to see it, but everybody will lay down the money to watch. Don't you think?
Probably.
Yeah.
They won't do the pay-per-view numbers they did the first time, but they'll still do really well.
They'll still do enough. Hey, we did want to bring in, and once again, I want to thank Adam Merrick for showing up from Destiny Wrestling Organization. Always fun. You mentioned it. We started the first time, I think you and I showed up at a DWO event was at 5 Points. How many years ago was that?
That's probably been about 4 years.
4 or 5, right? And I mean, I know because of the job situation I had, it kind of dropped off a little bit, but you followed them. We've been to the Armory, to the West Side
Community Center, the venue they were at last year. The name escapes me now. It was the Cesar Chavez Community Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they're in check that Bosque Farms.
Yeah.
This week, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, Hobo Hank versus Thunder. Hobo Hank's great friend of the show. DWO has been a great friend. I know they're with you on the Sports Animal.
Yeah.
Robles comes on a regular basis.
And I have no idea why I do that, because he is such a jerk.
He's a heel.
He is an absolute jerk.
He's a heel.
But I guess I'm glutton for punishment. Look, here's probably the biggest endorsement I can give to DWO, and I'll admit I'm a wrestling nerd.
Yeah.
But the second, maybe the third show I went to, I was actually in St. Louis that weekend. Bellator flew me and Trujillo out for Kimbo Slice, Ken Shamrock.
I remember that.
And they were going to put us up for the whole weekend. And I said, I got to get an early flight Saturday morning. I got to get back to town. I got stuff to do. What I had to do was DWO wrestling that night. So I gave up a couple of, another free night and an afternoon in St. Louis to get back to watch DWO.
And I know it's the challenge is always during football season for you, and somewhat for me, is when the Lobos were playing and DWO had matches that same night. That was always a difficult situation. For you, it's a little bit different because you get paid, to
right, for
tickle the buttons there.
Yeah, as long as I can work it, I get out there.
You got to call Bob Davey and say, make sure that.
Yeah, can you just run the ball in the second half? We need to speed this up. No, if football's on the road, obviously I'm not going to make it back. But if it's an afternoon game or something and we can get done in time, yeah, and I've done that. I've left straight from the University Stadium and gone over to DWO shows for sure.
And I'll tell you, every show has been great that I've attended. I don't think there's been one time where I've been disappointed, whether it was tax, whether it was a junkyard match, the dumpster match, a trash can, the ladder matches. Different guys. You mentioned Gino Rivera, who I thought it was funny when Adam said, well, Gino Rivera, a lot of people are lining up because he talks a lot. And I'm
talks a lot.
No, really. Yeah. He does talk a lot and dances a lot. But he backs it, does he not?
I like Gino Rivera a lot. I think he has got a huge future in pro wrestling.
And it's great. It's just a fun time. It's fun to go. I know I've taken my girlfriend. We've been out to a couple of shows. And I look forward to going Monday night. Nothing else going on a Monday night.
What better way to cap off holiday weekend?
Yeah, just a great way just to go catch some wrestling.
For sure.
Speaking of wrestling, kind of crazy story, and I know this touches your heart. Ric Flair reported on Twitter as passing away, and then that was the weirdest thing, was it not?
Well, yeah, it was a fake Twitter account.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, look, if you follow wrestling at all, you know Ric Flair's had some health issues the last couple of years.
Sure.
And he had a procedure scheduled, but he was having some complications, so they took him to the emergency room. Got that taken care of, but they wound up having to postpone the procedure for a couple of days. But supposedly he's on the mend and all that good stuff. Look, when you live the kind of lifestyle he's led,
wheeling, dealing.
Well, I mean, legit, lots of drinking and all that stuff. You know,
amongst other things.
That's going to catch up to you at some point.
Sure, absolutely.
And it has.
And he's not a spring chicken.
No, he just turned 70 actually.
Yeah. So you know, when was the last time that he literally physically was wrestling? It hasn't been that long, has it?
Never been in TNA. It's probably been about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy thinking about it. Of course, what's his name? The brothers. He always used to say he wrestled with Foley for the longest time. I can't think of his name. When he'd wear the pantyhose and rip his.
Oh, Terry Funk.
Terry Funk. He wrestled until.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'd say mid-70s, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure how old he is, but yeah, for a long time.
Wow,
for sure.
That's crazy. I mean, but it's great. So go check out the show. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, obviously it's summertime, it gets a little bit different, but NBA Finals, foregone conclusion, Golden State pins another one up.
It is to me, yeah. Well, I just think they're just that good. Even with Kevin Durant being out, they're still really good. They had no problems taking care of Portland in the Western Conference Finals, and yeah, I think they'll beat either Toronto or Milwaukee, whoever eventually comes out of the East.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, and the story I read today, NBA playoff numbers are down significantly.
Well, numbers were down for the entire season.
Right, and the reason and what I want to ask you is, I mean, I grew up. I mean, obviously, growing up as a kid, it was Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Dr. J. You had some unbelievable talent, and then Shaq and Kobe, and rolled around. LeBron kind of caught some.
There's a guy named Michael Jordan in there too.
Yeah, Jordan. Let's not forget about that guy.
Yeah, he was in there. He
was
did okay.
somebody. He was someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard the name before.
Sure.
Well, Washington Bullets, right? Or I guess they were the Wizards.
Well, he finished with the Wizards. Yeah,
okay.
He played with the Bulls for a little while.
Yeah,
before
for a little
that.
bit,
Yeah.
right. Is there nobody at this point with that kind of recognition, that kind of name power, or is it just the basketballs? Because I actually watched some NBA playoffs for the first time in a long time this year, and I mean it's just like between the walking, the double dribble, and it just didn't seem like the same game to
Look,
me.
the NBA is different from college basketball for sure, and you talk about some of those things. The thing that the NBA is dealing with right now, it's a couple of things, but it kind of all relates to the same person. It's LeBron James.
Okay.
And Adam Silver even said this, the NBA commissioner. He goes out west, which nothing wrong with it. That's his prerogative.
Sure.
The majority of the TV ratings come from the East Coast. Now obviously, LA's the number 2 media market for sure, but the majority of people live back east. All of his games are on back east much later at night now. So not as many people watching. Also, the Lakers were terrible this year, so there's no LeBron in the playoffs either.
Okay.
You know, that I think is a big part of it. It's probably not the only reason, because I believe the playoff numbers are down 30%. I don't know if you can.
38 is what I said.
38. Okay. I don't know if you can contribute all that to no LeBron, but I think it is a big part of it. Also, the Knicks haven't been good in forever. Now, they've weathered that storm, obviously, they being the NBA.
When was the last time they were good?
Right. It's been a long time. The Lakers aren't good. If you look at the teams in the playoffs, there aren't a lot of big TV markets.
Yeah, I was going to say Chicago's not good either.
Right. You know, let's look at the 2 conference finals. The Warriors just finished off Portland. Portland's a great city. It's not a huge media market.
Right.
I contend the Warriors don't play in a huge TV market.
No,
now,
they
they play on the outskirts of huge TV markets, but that's not a huge TV market. Milwaukee, not a huge TV market. Toronto, hell, it's not even in this country. Great city, but from all I've heard,
right.
Not a huge media market. That does have an impact when it comes to ratings.
And you know, you mentioned LeBron, and I asked you, I mean, Seth Curry isn't one of those guys that I think, or Steph, sorry.
Seth is his brother.
Seth is his brother. Yeah. Well, you could throw both of them in there. Though Steph has a couple of extra rings that maybe Seth doesn't have. But Steph, now I'm all confused with Seth and
you're right.
Steph. Thank you.
Right.
Steph Curry isn't one of those names when you put the upper echelon player up there. I don't think he's earned that spot yet. I
mean,
he
has.
He's great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I mean, he's great. But he's not a guy that I think of as like one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Well, he's also still fairly young. He's absolute worst case scenario, top 5 players playing now. He's probably top 3.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
And that's no, I mean, but part of that is also how many great players are there in the NBA now compared to past time?
There's still a lot. Look, the game always changes.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and a lot of people won't remember this, but the knock on Jordan early on, well, he's not Magic and Bird. The game's changed now. It's easier. And that's the same thing we hear now. And that's not necessarily wrong, and the game changes and all that. It's not as physical and all that. But, you know, from that standpoint, it's always been that way. I mean, you know, before Magic and Bird, like, oh, you know, but Bird's no Bill Russell. All right, that's fine. But doesn't mean they're not good. Doesn't mean they won't be looked back upon as all-time greats when it's all said and done. I would totally disagree with you on Steph Curry. He is absolutely one of the best players.
He's a Hall of Famer, don't get me wrong.
And by the way, if you watch the NBA, you've seen a lot of Curry and the Golden State Warriors the last few years because they're headed to their 5th straight NBA Finals now.
Which is crazy because when you think of the Golden State Warriors, if you're an old guy like me, you think of losers. They're just habitual losers.
Some really bad teams. Yeah.
Terrible teams. Yeah. Terrible teams. Let me think what else is going on. I mean, so yeah, Golden State will win. I don't see.
I think so.
I don't see others.
You know, my guess is they get Durant back for the finals, but even if they
does he play? I mean,
yeah, my guess is he will.
How bad is his injury? I mean, I guess you're not a doctor.
No, I'm not.
Though you would look good with one of those things on your head and a stethoscope.
Little light thing there.
Well, that thing that you flip on your eye.
You know, Steve Kerr said the other day the injury's a little worse than they originally thought. But, you know, they're still, you know, the finals don't start until May 30th, so they still got some more time, and he's been out, you know, a little over a week now. Assuming the injury isn't a lot worse than we were originally led to believe, I think he's probably back for the finals. Even if he's not, though, I still think the Warriors win.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think either Toronto or Milwaukee has the firepower to really even match up with the Warriors, no matter what. And I was just wondering if Durant would actually play significant minutes, or if he would just make kind of like a couple of cameo appearances, try to run a little bit, see what happens, or if they jump up on a quick 1-2-0 lead, maybe he just packs it in and goes for that free agent money in the summer.
Well, he's going to have that option regardless.
Right.
And look, Kevin Durant's the best basketball player in the world right now. So, you know, even if he doesn't play in the finals or doesn't play well because of the injury, that's not going to hurt his stock in the least.
Where's he going to go?
Well, everybody says the Knicks. If I'm Kevin Durant, I stay right where I'm at.
Really?
Yeah. Why would you leave?
No, I mean, I hear you. I mean,
the only reason he would have to leave is because the knock from some is, well, he left Oklahoma City to go join a championship team so he could win a title. All right. What are you accomplishing by going to the Knicks?
More money, I guess, would be the only thing,
No,
right?
same amount of money.
Same amount of money.
You're going to a horribly run franchise. It's second only to the Lakers. Lots of players have gone there and tried to turn it around and haven't been able to. If you think he was crazy for leaving Oklahoma City and joining a championship team, then what do you think if he leaves that championship team and goes to the New York Knicks?
Yeah. Hey, I did want to ask you one other thing, and I know we're running out of time in this segment, but I know you're an NBA guy, big time. Kawhi Leonard, has he stepped up into great player status now?
I think he was always right there at it. Now, you know, certainly the end of his time in San Antonio with the injuries and then the bickering and all maybe took a little bit away from that. Yeah, look, he's fabulous. And, you know, the speculation was, well, he's going to go to Toronto for that year and then he's bolting. He may still leave Toronto. But I said this when he went there, and I firmly believe it now with the run they've had. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion he leaves there.
But why would you stay? I mean, you mentioned it. Toronto's not even in the country. It's not in a media market that you want. I mean, I could see Durant not going to New York, but him.
From a player standpoint, you don't really have to be in a big media market to get noticed. You know, there's games are constantly on TV. There's the league pass. There's social media. Look, you can.
But isn't there noticed and then noticed? I mean, if he went to like Los Angeles or he went to New York or anywhere in the United States.
You just named the two worst franchises in the NBA.
Right, but you're going to get your name out there more than you are going to be in Toronto. Yes, you're going to get your name out, NBA fan, but I'm talking about even bigger.
Well, no, look, if you go to the Lakers, you're second fiddle to LeBron. And look, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but everything gets overshadowed by nobody in the front office knows what they're doing. Jeannie Buss, relies on former Laker players' wives to help make decisions. You're overshadowed by the circus. And the same thing with the Knicks to a lesser degree. It's all about James Dolan, and James Dolan's a jerk. It's a poorly run franchise, this, that, and the other, and you're not winning.
So the Lakers aren't the only one that don't know what they're doing. We don't know what we're doing here either, so we're going to take a quick break and figure it out.
Should I?
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Well, other than figuring out that maybe you asked if you want to punch me in the face, I can't think of anything else to talk about.
And I don't even know where that came from. I was just trying to get us back on track, I guess. I don't know.
So you thought a punch in the face would work? Maybe just having Adam Merrick here
It couldn't
and
hurt,
talking about
right?
DWO, you thought maybe that's the way
Well, I
to
mean,
go.
what's the worst that could happen?
Wait, wasn't there like a guy that Micah had him on the Cage Mine?
Oh, so
broke
Sage
his
Northcott,
face?
yeah.
How many bones fragments did they remove out of his grill?
It was like 30, right? Yeah, it was 30. And
30.
he got,
I mean, did they like peel it off, open the whole thing up, and?
I don't know, but I know that the pictures of him after surgery, yeah, like half his face is, actually it's this half, but it's just like covered up, and yeah. I don't know.
So he's done, right?
No, he'll be back.
With 30 fragments out of it, I mean, what's
Well,
left?
they're not still there.
Well, but they removed them. There's like now chunks of holes in
You
his
can
face,
fill it
right?
in. It's just like,
Epoxy
you know.
or something?
Right. It's just like when your shower starts leaking, you just bring out some caulk and they just go in and fill in the cracks. It's all good.
It's all good?
Yeah.
You guys in the MMA stuff, man. Or that was boxing, was it? Was that
No,
boxing?
no,
or MMA?
that was MMA, yeah.
You MMA guys are just insane.
No,
wild.
the bigger issue there is, and I don't mean this as a slight to Sage Northcott, but he's a pretty boy.
Okay.
He's
So this
he's
ruins his
handsome,
movie
good
stuff?
looks and all. Well, it might. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna look like the Elephant Man now, but he's probably gonna look a little different. Yeah.
But it might help his boxing game, or his MMA game.
No, probably.
At
not.
least his cred, right?
No.
No? You don't think it's something to say I came back from having 35 fragments removed out of my grill?
No, because what you're really saying is, wow, you really got your butt kicked. You aren't any good.
Yeah, you got smashed. Yeah, I guess.
And it's
so.
not fair to say he's not any good. The dude just caught him and dropped him. It was a heck of a punch.
Well, who's the guy that threw the punch? Because you got to have a nasty punch if you bust someone's face like that.
Do you? Because I don't think I have that good of a punch. But if you sit there and just let me, I could probably.
You think you could knock 35 fragments loose?
At least 5 or 6.
At least 5 or 6?
Probably not, no.
Hey, a couple of things I want to talk about. We mentioned Connor O'Toole a couple weeks ago when he had picked up, I can't remember which offer he was, but 2 SEC offers now. as both Alabama and LSU, or not, check that, Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah.
And LSU have offered him. And all of a sudden, this young man from La Cueva is a rising star in Albuquerque. I can't recall, maybe it was Gentry was the last one that had, but I can't recall this amount of offers. But I could be wrong. I'll have to go back and look. But I can't recall a young man getting this amount of offers so early, and big offers.
Well, yeah, Gentry had a lot of big offers, though.
He did. So you might be right, but he's quarterback, big kid. Well, he started out as a quarterback here. Just interesting. It's funny when New Mexico offers, because this has always been the argument here for local kids or for people that follow high school football here in Albuquerque, is they're always like, well, why doesn't New Mexico offer more local kids? Why doesn't New Mexico offer more local kids? And then following Lobo football for so many years and talking to coaches, it's like, well, if nobody else is going to offer, why should we offer? And it's kind of that catch-22, but all of a sudden...
Because you can get them in as a walk-on.
Right, you can get them in as a walk-on.
And give them the opportunity to...
Right, I mean, and there's always been like one or two kids that gets an offer. But this guy went from an offer from New Mexico, also Wyoming jumps in, all of a sudden these other schools, and then now it's SEC schools. Obviously, he's having a good spring. I'm assuming camps, or they're looking at video, or is it like some of the arguments that's there? Once you get that first offer, then you get that second offer. All of a sudden, the sky's the limit.
Well, yeah, certainly, when LSU offers you, people start taking notice, and other schools around, well, what do they see in this guy? And then they start digging in a little more, and, well, hey, this guy, he's got a lot of potential. We should offer him as well. Getting that first big offer, I think, is key, because once you get on the radar,
right?
Teams, schools that maybe hadn't heard about you, picked up on you before, all of a sudden they hear about you, and then they start looking.
Yeah, well, first it was the Mountain West Conference offers, and then the step up to the PAC, and then now SEC, and now everyone. The sky's the limit. We'll see how many more young men is definitely, once fall rolls around.
Right.
Check out ProView Networks. We have all the high school football. The entire high school football scene, you can see these young men playing, and now that there's, for so many years there weren't that many local players that were getting offers. So New Mexico was lucky if one or two players made it to the Division I level. It seems lately that there's a lot more young men that are kind of getting those offers out there as they're being exposed, they're receiving exposure and getting their names out there. So that's pretty good. Obviously, the talent level has risen.
But are there that many more players in a given year getting those offers?
Yeah, I think so. Not that size, not LSU and Arkansas per se, but they are starting to get more Mountain West Conference sort of levels and at least getting looks that they weren't getting looked at before. I think that's definitely true. The other thing I want to talk about locally is obviously the New Mexico United once again is winning again. They keep winning, or at least drawing. They're not losing, I guess is what we say in soccer. Talk again in the news was, is it time to start looking at a stadium? I was talking with Josh about that earlier before the show, and there's no way. I just don't see how New Mexico can afford to get a stadium and gamble on that. Do you?
No, but it depends on how you package it, I guess. Look, you're playing in the best venue in the entire state right now.
Current venue.
Right. Current venue. You probably need to give it a couple of years and continue to grow the organization and see what's available for you then, and then maybe think about building a stadium. Long term, if the United is going to be around 10 years or more, and they may very well be, at some point you probably do need your own facility. But for right now, at least, it's working out well using Isotopes Park. They're certainly drawing well. They're playing well. So it's hard to find any downsides to the way they're doing it right now.
No, they cast a great vision. They've moved forward with that vision. Local fans have really taken up with them, have really caught the fire, and they're winning, and that always helps.
Oh, winning helps a lot.
That's got to be worth at least, 10,000 fans.
Maybe.
Not losing, I should say. Yeah. Not losing. It is still soccer. But
well, if you're not losing, you're winning. Even if it's a tie.
Drawing.
Draw.
You got to draw.
Yeah.
What was that guy, Bob Ross? Is that what his name was?
He was more of a painter than a drawer. But
painter? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as this show draws to a close.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You like that, huh? Don't forget Monday night at In Bosque Farms. What is it? Hold My Ticket?
Yeah, holdmyticket.com. You can get tickets
Holdmyticket.com.
for,
Get your DWI. Thanks to Adam Merrick. Thanks to Micah Frankel. For Michael Carlisle, this is Leroy Lucero. We'll see you next week. God bless you all.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.